Gun control is necessary in order to have peaceful cities, countries, and a peaceful world. Those who do not support gun control show they are not thinking on the terms of safeness for all. Things should never be settled by violence. Gun control should be in existence because without law saying so, a gun can be in anyone's hands. If gun laws were stricter, more lives would be safe. Not only should there be a standard background check, but also a medical background check as well. The Council on Foreign Relations states that a so-called gun show loophole codified in the Firearm Owners Protection Act of 1986 effectively allows anyone, including convicted felons, to purchase firearms without a background check. If there are no boundaries to who can have a gun, then any and everyone is put at risk. Once it is legal for anyone to have a gun, nothing can be done about it. Another reason gun control needs to be enforced is because mentally unstable people could get a hold of a gun and do something out of their control. This is why I believe that mental background checks should also be required, because if a person gets a hold of a gun and does something dangerous with it, they can say that they are mentally unstable. Many people have gotten away with saying they were mentally unstable when having something to do with gun violence. For example, the Sandy Hook Elementary case. If guns were not easy to get, then the Sandy Hook Elementary would be normal and the parents would not be childless. By allowing this problem to occur the first time is unforgivable. Doing nothing to stop it from happening again is unprincipled. Keeping the current laws as they are makes it seems there is no sympathy for what happened and now nothing will change. Not only is it unsafe for just anyone to have a gun, it is also unsafe for anyone and everyone, trained or not, to walk around armed at all times. There are several incidents where guns were unintentionally fired but still caused a big situation when they did not have to. For example, the police officer in Minneapolis shooting and killing Philando Castile, who had the right to carry his weapon and told the officer he had his license, and also told the officer that the weapon was in the car. When he was asked to present his license, he was shot and killed because the officer was so-called scared. This entire situation could have been avoided if neither one of them had the right to carry the weapon in the first place. And a recent study shows that rather than being used for self-defense, guns in homes are 22 more likely to be involved in accidental shootings, homicides, or suicide attempts. Having guns available to anyone in a home at any time can lead to serious problems, injuries, or deaths. Many cases have also come up where a teenager in the house takes the gun to school or winds up killing his own family members. The biggest claim that people who are against gun control have is that it is taking away their right to bear arms as a Second Amendment. While people allowed to carry guns feel safer, people who do not want them around feel unsafe. This acts as a lose-lose situation. Why should someone fear a gun when, if no one had one or carried them, everyone would be safe? Gun control law will also reduce the societal costs associated with gun violence. According to the Pacific Institute for Research and Evaluation, PIRE, in 2010, gun violence cost each person in the United States roughly $564, and the U.S. government $5.5 billion in lost tax revenue, $4.4 billion in court costs, $1.4 billion in Medicare and Medicaid costs, $180 million in mental health care for victims, $224 million in insurance claims processing, and $133 million for law enforcement and medic response to shooting injuries. In 2010, there were 36,341 emergency room visits and 25,024 hospitalizations for gun injuries, costing an estimated $6.3 million. 84% of those injured by firearms are uninsured, leaving taxpayers responsible for those bills.